Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Football Manager 2017 with Newcastle United. And we're starting off today in the January transfer window. We are away against Huddersfield for the FA Cup third round. Not a competition that I'm too worried about. The priority will continue to be the league, even though we are doing it perhaps a little bit better than we might have expected. So there's a few changes for the match against Huddersfield. You can see that Januzaj has come in on the right. I've still not been able to shift him in this January transfer window. We've of course lost Czech Tiote and Andy Carroll, but not players that we're going to cry over too much. Pulisic will carry on on the left-hand side, and the only change really in midfield is Darren Gibson is being recalled because of the loss of Tiote. I feel like we do need a bit more substance there, and it's proven harder than I thought to bring in a new player. So Gibson might play a bit more for the second half of the season, as I can't get rid of him either. The defence is pretty strong. Tim Krul continues in goal. Cardalo back on the bench after a long time out with injury. Caleri is on the transfer list, but these clubs only want him on loan, which is very annoying because I don't need to loan the players out. I need to sell them and get them off the wage budget. Plus, they're only offering 20% of his wages anyway. Otherwise, I have brought CM de Jong back in just in case we need him, but we've got quite a big squad, so I'm not too worried on that front. Still not been able to get rid of him either, despite trying for the better part of a year now. But otherwise, I think that's it really. It's still quite a strong team. We should still be coming through against Huddersfield, but it means that we're only playing the fit players, not risking anybody today. I am still looking to bring in a new striker. We might be bringing in a new midfielder quite soon, but I was really hoping we could shift Caleri and bring in a new striker because I've not been impressed with Janssen or Caleri really. And Andy Carroll's now gone, so we are lacking in depth there. It looks like Julian Green might have to come in up top if we do have an injury crisis, which is not what we want. So yeah, we got a few things to sort out over the course of this episode. I'll obviously keep you up to date as the transfers are made, and I think really we're going to have to wait until next summer to make any large-scale changes. But hopefully we can get a bit of good work done in this window. Shift on a bit of the deadweight because our squad is too big for a team in mid-table. But yeah, we'll get into this match against Huddersfield. I'm not too fussed if we stay in the competition or go out. I wouldn't mind a cup run, but I don't really want to risk our freshness going into the latter part of the season. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new or if you've been watching a little while. It does help out the show, and I do upload daily, so it makes sure that you always catch every episode and don't miss a thing. It'd be really nice if you could drop a like on the video as well, just to let me know that you're enjoying it. But without any further hesitation, let's jump into this match. Bunn just looking to move Huddersfield forward. I am slightly concerned they've been matching us toe for toe so far, and now Smith's in on the right, and it's gone into the goal somehow. Tim Krul failing to keep that out. It's gone down as an own goal for him. That's quite disappointing. We're 1-0 down just before half time. Sven Anita on the ball, surrounded by Huddersfield players, but he picks out the pass, and now Janssen can run at the Huddersfield defence. He's got options to his right. Still going, brought down by Walsh, and I think Huddersfield are about to go down to 10 men. Now it is a second yellow card, and Liam Walsh is sent off, and we now have just under 30 minutes to save this match. Lazar on the left, looking to beat his man, pulls it across. Darren Gibson there, back across to Lazar, who can whip in the ball towards Janssen, but Pulisic on the volley has got the equaliser, and we have 10 minutes left against 10 men to find a winner. Right, this looks like it's going to be a very disappointing draw. Sort of the worst of all the outcomes that could have happened today, because it means we have to play another match, although we will be at home in that game. This also doesn't do much for our morale, which is suffering a little bit at the moment. It was suggested in the comments I should hold a team meeting, and I think I might look to do that, because we've got a good run of games coming up, I feel. And if we can boost some morale, we might be able to get a good result, especially against a team like Crystal Palace in the next fixture. Because just looking at our games, it's Palace, Stoke, Huddersfield, Watford, Swansea, and then finishing with Man City. This is probably the time to do a team meeting. Only won one of our last 5 matches. So I'm going to do a team meeting, and I'll meet you ahead of that game against Palace. A couple of pieces of transfer news to update you guys on before this match against Palace. The first that you might be able to see is that we have signed Trindade de Vilhena, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's been a hot prospect in Football Manager games, so that's few versions, and that's no different this time. He's a very good player. If we just have a look at his report, you can see that he is supposed to play as a attacking midfield centre, but we're going to play him in the centre of midfield, which he'll adapt to over time. He's still young, so that won't be a problem. As you can see, we got him for just £3.8 million. He's had a very good average rating in the game up to now. We got him so cheap because his contract was expiring at the end of the season, but after we sold Tiote, I didn't really want to wait 6 months to bring him in, so I thought I'd spend the money now. He's got a value of £10 million, so I think it's a snip, and we've got the extra transfer budget, so it doesn't impact us very much. But it means we have a bit of extra cover, and he is going to start straight away in this game against Palace. He's got quite good fitness, 100%, 99%, no problem there. The other bit of news is that we have shifted Adnan Januzaj, only on loan, but he's gone to Cannes in France. So he is now off our team, but hopefully when he comes back he won't be as miserable as he was this season. We can maybe get him back into the fold. It also means that the rest of the team shouldn't be impacted with him now gone. Darren Gibson, the only player really unhappy at this point. As you can see, the team meeting did do a bit of good work lifting people's spirits, so I think with Januzaj gone as well, there's no unhappy players left, and we can maybe start stringing together a few victories. We've been dominating possession, but it's Crystal Palace who've been creating the better chances. 56% possession, not unusual for us to have that much. But there hasn't really been a great highlight in this game to speak of. Hopefully we can create something here. Cook is brought down by Witsel, and we are going to be playing 10 men for the rest of these 15 minutes. Well, we've been throwing bodies forward to try and get this late goal against the 10 men, but it just hasn't been on the cards really. Barini with a wayward shot, and that will be the final act of the match. It's finished as a boring 0-0. A little bit frustrating, but I don't think at any point we deserve to pick up the 3 points. Time for the away match against Stoke then, and there's a bit of change to the team. We got Ritchie coming in on the right with Pulisic on the left. Vilhena continues alongside Cook in the centre with Lucas Silva just behind them. There are some ongoing transfers at the moment, which I'm hoping to tell you about once they're completed by the end of this episode. You might see that there's a couple of bids on your screen, and those players are probably on their way out, but I think we can bring in some good replacements for them, and we are getting some good money if they go through. But I think our next match is a few days away. Yeah, it's against Huddersfield, and then we have the match against Watford. So by the time we play Watford, I think we will have a couple of new players in our squad. But we need to focus on this away match with Stoke first. One little interesting stat for you is that between our two strikers, Kaleri and Janssen, they have in total scored 4 goals this season. That is why we are struggling so much, especially away from home. The strikers are in no way pulling their weight. It's given they're complete forwards. It's not like they're playing as false nines or any of the sort of positions where you'd maybe expect them in a defensive forward or target man to not quite get as many, but it's absolutely appalling. We've had a real problem with strikers in this game, so hopefully we can fix that situation before this transfer window closes. Lazar's throw finds Pulisic into Cook, and Lewis Cook has scored out of nowhere, right into the bottom corner. Our first shot on target. We're 1-0 up away from home. Iorfa's just holding on to the ball. I'm not sure he will with 3 players around him, but he does. He's found Mbemba. Now Cook slips through Lucas Silva. Ritchie's got Janssen free in the middle, and Janssen scores. It's only his 5th goal of the season, but he makes it 2-0. Maybe he's heard us talking about bringing in another striker. Shaqiri on the left flank, looking to get something back for Stoke. They've made 3 substitutions at the same time, and Shaqiri's still going. He's beaten so many players that he picks out Balotelli, and it's 2-1, and we've got 20 minutes to hang on in this match. Corner for Stoke. Shaqiri swings the ball in, and it's a foul. He's tripped Lucas Silva in the box. Lucas Silva tripping Balotelli rather, and Stoke have the chance from the spot to make it 2-2. Balotelli scores, top corner, nothing that Tim Krul could do. It's 2-2, and we've got 15 minutes to try and avoid defeat now. This has been a very hectic game of football. Both sides going for it. I think we're possibly in a fair result overall. I'm very disappointed we gave away a 2-goal lead, but Stoke definitely did not deserve to lose this match, and it has finished 2-2. I'll take a point at the Britannia Stadium. It could have been a lot worse. I think I'm going to tell the boys they're unlucky. I want to get some motivation into the team. And it does mean that we are now on 34 points. We're just 6 from that magical 40-point safety mark. And 34 points, I think, was the 18th place finish last season. So we probably are safe overall. And we do want to be looking to climb up the table as high as we can. We're in and around where we should be according to the board. Mid-table finish they're expecting. But I think we can do a lot better. Well, there are some transfer dealings to tell you about, and the big one is that we have signed Batshuayi from Chelsea for just £7.25 million. He's a great player, he's a great striker, he's got all the great stats, he fits the complete forward role that we want him to continue to play in. And he's not even actually been that bad for Chelsea. He got 11 in about 36 in his first season, and he's got 4 in 11 so far this season. I think his chances have just been shunted because they signed a couple of big strikers early on in the game. But we have managed to bring in Batshuayi for just £7.25 million. I couldn't believe the fee that we got him for. In terms of players out, we have lost Anita and Lazar. Anita has gone for what could amount to about £12.75 million and probably will, and Lazar has gone for 20.5. I didn't really want to sell Lazar, he's a good player, but I said around £20 million would be enough to sell him, and I'm pretty sure that we will fulfill all those clauses because he is only 25. He'll have plenty of time to max out all of the playing and goal, maybe not the goals, but the playing appearances at least. So I think we've done some good deals. Bringing in another striker is important. I have got replacements lined up for Anita and Lazar. They should be going through after this match against Huddersfield. And I might even look to bring in another striker. I think we have room to do so. So quite exciting. Batshuayi is cup-tied, as is Trinidade de Vilhena. So the team today is a little bit different. Diame has come back into the centre midfield. Janssen continues up front. Otherwise, as you were, Gamez coming in on the left because Iorfa is now the main right back. So Gamez not ideally suited. We don't really have a backup left back, especially with Anita gone as well, because he occasionally filled in that position. So a new left back is the priority now. We need another centre midfielder just to flesh out our squad depth. But I'm quite happy with the team, and I think it's getting to around the size I would like a mid-table team to be. Because as you can see, there's only a couple of players left, and in fact, Mbabu isn't even here, so there's just Caldalo really fit to come in, and Siam De Jong might still leave on loan. So another couple of players are important, but we need to focus on this game against Huddersfield. I would like to go through the draw, put us against Blackburn in the next round. If we get through against Huddersfield, we are at home, shouldn't be too taxing, and I think we can get a decent cup run. It's a free kick from Lowe, and he scores. It's straight into the top corner. We're 1-0 down from a free kick. Huddersfield's first chance of the match, and they have taken it. Iorfa going on a run. And it's deflected into Pulisic. And it has gone in this time. The second time the ball has just stunned on the line. But this time Smith has touched it into his own net. And it's 1-1. Now Christensen does find Aarons. Now Janssen back to Aarons. Man out on the right. It's Iorfa. He can whip the ball across. Janssen's there and he scores again. It's 2-1 to Newcastle. And maybe the arrival of Batshuayi has kicked Janssen into life. Diame's been fouled by Hogg there on the centre circle, straight from kickoff after our second goal. And I think Hogg's about to get sent off. He is. And we are playing 10 men, and surely we are through to the next round now. Bunn to Billing. I'll be very upset if we concede now. And there's Hirula through to Walsh, and they have scored. It's 2-2. 10 men Huddersfield have equalised away from home. Well, this is just not what we wanted. I said before the first match we played against Huddersfield in the FA Cup that I didn't care if we win or lost, but going to extra time of a second leg in the FA Cup third round is not what I wanted. Well, I can't believe it's got that far, but we are now taking on Huddersfield in a penalty shootout in the FA Cup, and Wells scores the first one for Huddersfield. I have a feeling we're going to lose this. Janssen steps up, but does score 1-1. Walsh makes it 2-1. Darren Gibson back in the team. Has scored just. Hirula. It's saved. It's nearly over the line, but it is saved. Dawson. Straight at the keeper, I think, but we are 3-2 ahead now on penalties. Low scored the free kick, but he's missed the penalty and we are 1 goal away. Pulisic can win it for us here, but it's saved. Huddersfield must score. And they have. It's now 3-3, but we can win it with this penalty. Yamez can be the hero. He steps up, and it's saved. Sudden death. Hefele. Oh, straight down the middle. And now Christensen must score. And does. Bun. Saved, and we have a third chance to win it now. Diame can send us home. And he does. We have somehow got through against Huddersfield. I can't believe we actually did that in the end. It looked destined to be a defeat, but we've managed to get through to play Blackburn in the FA Cup 4th round. Well, you might be able to notice that we have brought in a couple of new players. The first big thing is that Batshuayi is going to make his first start for the club up front. Even though Janssen scored in his last 2 matches, I think Batshuayi has to start if he's available. Christian Atsu has been complaining about not playing football, and I don't want to lose him, so I've decided to give him a chance ahead of Pulisic on the left wing. De Vilhena comes back in, and you'll see at left back we have signed Romelu Lukaku's brother, Jordan Lukaku. We got him for about £4.5 million. He's young, he's got potential, and I think he'll be a more than capable replacement for Lazar at a quarter the price. The other signing that we made was Jonathan de Guzman, who is injured at the moment, out for a few days. He's quite a good player. You might remember he was at Swansea for a little time. We signed him from Napoli, I think. He's good at direct free kicks, good in a few positions, and as you can see, he fits in with the rest of the team quite well. So I think not star players, but for January transfer signings, they will get us through the next few months. If they're not that great, we can look to bring somebody new in, but they'll do the job for now. They're replacements for reasonably big money moves out, which gives us a bit more flexibility, but I'm not sure we actually need to sign anybody else. I'm quite happy with the squad. I don't want it to get too bloated, and if Batshuayi can get the goals, I think that's all that is missing from our team, is a striker who scores goals, and luckily Janssen scored in his last 2, and if Batshuayi scores today, I will be much more comfortable with the way the team is set up. This will, I think, be the final. No, it's not quite the final episode. We're going to play Blackburn as well at home after getting through against Huddersfield. So we'll play Watford now in the league, and then we've got Blackburn at home. And then next episode, a few very big matches against City, Arsenal and Chelsea. Lukaku's first real involvement finds Atsu. Lukaku can put in the ball from here. He does. Towards Batshuayi. Cook at the far post, and Batshuayi touches it home. He's onside, and Batshuayi has scored 8 minutes into his debut for the club. Nice little ball out left to Lukaku. He runs past his man, skips a tackle, can whip in the ball, finds Atsu. He's gone down in the area, and it is a penalty for us. Craig Cathcart with a foul. I think it's Matt Ritchie who will step up. He is our set-piece specialist. And he does. And it's scored. It's 2-0, and surely we aren't going to throw away this 2-goal lead. Free kick for Watford. Pereira puts it in, and Igalo has scored a stunning volley right into the top corner. We've got 15 minutes now to hang on, just as we did against Stoke. Late chance now. Watford have given the ball away, and Atsu can go on a run. He's looking for the run of Batshuayi. Doesn't quite have the pace to get there. Prodal sends it back to Pantilion. And Silva over to Ritchie. Do we have a late goal? It's in towards Batshuayi, headed out. Capoue can get the ball away now for Watford. Dawson with a good header. Janmaat hasn't given up the cause though. He sends it into Troy Deeney. This is dangerous for us. Capoue finds Igalo. There's Musaku, and it's gone in. And yet again, we have given away a 2-goal lead right at the death. That is the full-time whistle. How have we done that? This has been such a disappointing episode on the pitch. I can't believe we've given that up. We've now drawn every match in this episode. That 0-0 with Palace, giving away the 2-goal lead against Stoke, somehow having to rely on penalties against Huddersfield, and then giving away another 2-goal lead against Watford. An extra 4 points would have sent us as high as 9th and kept us in the running for these European places. But instead, we're now 10 points off a Champions League place. I think Europe is probably out of the question. We're certainly going to need a good run. The only positive from that may be that Batshuayi and Lukaku had very good games. But we have work to do. Not much change to the team for this match. Janssen coming in for the cup-tied Batshuayi. We'll have to see if Janssen can make it 3 games in a row for a goal. One exceptional piece of news to tell you about is that Everton offered me a job, or a job interview at least. Just before this game, they came in and asked me if I'd like to go and take a look at the role. I think I could probably hold out for a better club, so I did decline it straight away. I'm not interested in this Newcastle save for a job at Everton. I think the squad has got all the hallmarks of a great team in a couple of seasons' time. We're in a position where we've got the squad depth and age on our side, so we can now make a couple of marquee signings in the next 2 or 3 transfer windows and really convert the team into a top 4 side. So I think there's rapid progress that can be made with this team, and I'm not planning to abandon it anytime soon. From the comments, it didn't look like you guys wanted me to abandon them anytime soon either. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the idea of maybe taking another job. If a big club does come in, do you think I should take it? Should we turn this into a bit of a journeyman career? Or are we committing to Newcastle until we have made them the big club that we set out to become at the start of this series? In terms of the match, as I said, not much change. Just Janssen up front. But I really, really want to end this episode with a win because it's been so frustrating on the pitch to get 5 draws in a row. So let's end that rut and get an actual win on the board. Conway with room on the left does find Henley, and it's put into Graham, and Blackburn have the lead at St James's Park. Diame picks up Pulisic. Can he slip through the pass? He has to go back to Diame. Pulisic again does find Janssen, and there's Cook, and Cook slots it into that bottom corner. We're back on terms with 15 minutes to try and find the winner. Well, it was almost inevitable that this was going to finish in another draw. I'm sorry for you guys that this has been 6 draws in a row. I don't feel that we've been playing that badly. I think maybe we've just been incredibly unlucky. You let me know in the comments if you think there's something that maybe we're doing wrong. I know I'm not a fan of changing to attacking defensive. Maybe that's something I should start doing when we are 2 goals up, is just switching to either a counter or defensive style of play. Because something isn't going right. If we've fallen from a 2-goal lead to all square twice in one episode, there's something really going wrong. But it now means we've got yet another replay in the FA Cup, which again I didn't really want. In the league we're doing okay. I think a few more wins would be nice, but we've got some very difficult matches coming up in the next episode. So make sure you do subscribe and tune in for that next episode, where we'll have to see if we can keep up our impressive home form against the big clubs this season. But we are getting to the business end. The January transfer window will be closed by the time we start the next episode. But that will be all for this time. Thanks so much for watching, and see ya.